Hi everyone, Alchemist here. I'd like to thank you for your subscriptions, for your likes, for supporting my content and watching. Today I'm going to address a very important sacred geometry shape. It's a shape that's used widely in the occult. It is probably one of the most fundamental shapes that exists out there, and that is the triangle. The triangle is a very crucial shape that everyone practicing magic or the occult needs to understand. If you don't understand the power of the triangle, then you need to do some research. But I hope that this video is going to clarify that for you. If we start by contemplating the shape of the triangle at first, we're going to see that the triangle is the most stable shape out there. It's the strongest. Why? From a foundation perspective, from a physics perspective, and here again I'm using the word physics, which is the science to study the physical reality. So from a physical perspective, the triangle is shaped like this, with basically one line at the bottom and then two lines pointing upwards. So this not only gives you a very strong foundation, but from an energy standpoint, it is also very important. So from a physical standpoint, if we take the example of the pyramids, for example, the pyramids, when you look at them from the side, from the front or from the side, you see a triangle. So they are based on the triangle, because triangle gives you strong foundation, because it has a large base and it has two equilateral lines that are going upwards. So that's why in ancient temples, for example in Greece, you see that the top of the temples is shaped like a triangle, because that triangle just adds a certain stability to the whole building. That's why pyramids never collapsed around the world. They are still there. Even if you look at ziggurats are ancient temples that I'm very, very fascinated with. They're the temples of the Sumerians. The Egyptians had pyramids and the Sumerians had ziggurats. If you look at an overall shape of a ziggurat, you will see that it's also kind of triangular in nature. It's kind of like a pyramid, but a little bit different. So the ancient civilizations knew this. They knew that making anything in a triangular form will give you the strongest foundation in the physical reality. So triangle represents power. It also represents the element of fire, because fire is very powerful, and it's hard to beat fire. You know, when fire takes over, that's it, it's game over. So the triangle represents that. In numerology, it is number 3, because we have 3 lines, and number 3 in numerology represents mastery. It represents becoming fully who you truly are at your highest power. Every time you see 333, it means that you're about to become the master, that you're unlocking some mysteries in your life that will take you to the next level, that will unlock your powers, that will make you who you truly are. We know that Jesus accomplished everything that he has accomplished in only 3 years, and he also died at the age 33. So 3 is connected to mastery, it's connected to building. In tarot, the major arcana that represents number 3 is the Empress card. The Empress represents wisdom, it represents divinity, it represents the spirit realm. Also in numerology, from a numerology standpoint, if you see 333, for example, it means that you're about to create something new. It takes 2 entities, that's number 2, to come together in peace of harmony to create a third entity, right? So we have how babies are created. Babies or like newborns are the third element. We have the parents, and then when the parents come together, they create a third element. So 3 represents creation, but creation from a higher level. Number 2 also represents creation, but just from understanding the physical realm, understanding the polarities, the duality. But number 3, it's actually creating something divine, creating something that's the next level of your potential. That's why it's like creating a baby. It could be an animal baby or it could be a human baby. You know, that's something fascinating to see a life form created. Sure, you can create something physical like a chair or a table, that's number 2. But to create something with life, something that's divine, something that's like a living being, that's number 3. We have in Freemasonry, there's 33 levels in the Freemason levels, and the people who are at the highest degree, which is the 33rd degree, are the Master Masons. They hold the highest knowledge and the secrets that many levels don't know. In sacred geometry, it could be represented by another shape, which is called the triquetra or the triquetra. There's another shape also called the triskelion, and all of these forms represent the Trinity. In Christianity, it's called the Holy Trinity. Mastery requires you to understand always 3 elements. We have past, present, future. We have mind, body, soul in spirituality. In alchemy, we have corpus animus spiritus, which is the body, and then the divine masculine, and then the divine feminine. Divine masculine is animus, the anima, the energy that stimulates you, that gives you that force to create and to live, and then spiritus, which is the spirit, which is the divine feminine. So in alchemy, we have also a trinity. We have 3 elements that are essential to become an alchemist. This trinity is found all across the globe for mastery, for divinity, for wisdom, for knowledge. So number 3 is always associated with power, with knowledge, with divinity. It's like you're starting to breach between the realm of the physical and the spiritual. I see number 3 as the start. That's when you start to apprehend and question, what is the spirit realm? Is there something that's spiritual out there? For maybe a lot of people who are very asleep out there, they're just part of the normal life, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are meant to just live life without questioning anything. For those people, if they start seeing 333, for them it's the start of their awakening. They're awakening to question things, to start to apprehend and question what's there beyond the veil of the unseen. Is there something out there? When you start questioning, that's also represented by the triangle, by number 3. Triangle in the occult and magic is widely used. In alchemy, there's many symbols that are represented by the triangle. We have the elements, the 4 elements, fire, water, earth, and air, are all represented by triangles, either pointing upwards or pointing downwards. In alchemy, that's widely used, and that eventually transferred to magic, to Wicca, to the occult. These 4 triangles or 4 elements, when you overlap them with each other, they give you the hexagram. As you can see here, the Seal of Solomon, they give the hexagram. You're already jumping from 3 to number 6 because the hexagram is represented by number 6. But number 6, I'm gonna leave it for the video where I'm going to explain number 6. Now I'm just tackling number 3. The fact that the elements are represented through triangles is already powerful, because the elements, the 4 elements, are what makes life on Earth. Without these elements, life cannot exist. Another thing about the triangle, why it is shaped like that, as in like a base, and then 2 lines point upward, that is also for the energy to kind of concentrate towards one point. So you have the base, and if you want your energy to focus and intensify, then you make it meet. One side is the feminine, one side is the masculine, and then when they meet, they form that point where you become your true essence, who you truly are, at your fullest, highest power and energy. And it could be the reason why the pyramids are built like that. because when you get to the top, and no one has been to the top of the pyramid, of course it's not allowed to climb at that top, but maybe if you get to that top of the pyramid, maybe there's a high intense energy there, because the energy intensifies when you go to the top. So that's another aspect of the triangle and why it's such an important shape. So in your rituals, for example, if you want to invoke the elements or speak to the elements of nature, like fire or water or earth or air, you can use triangles in your rituals, in your spells. You can draw the sigils that represents these elements and use them. That's how you can use triangles. If you want to manifest wisdom, knowledge, mastery in your life, use triangles. Draw them around, and you can meditate while looking at them. They're very powerful tools that are going to unlock that mastery within you, to remember that knowledge, to remember that wisdom. I'm personally a huge fan of triangles. I love them. Every time I see a triangular form, it captures my attention. If you see also the logo of the Freemasons, it is a triangle with the eye in the middle, the eye of providence, the all-seeing eye. In ancient Egypt, that is the eye of Horus. In Hinduism, that's the third eye. So we have that eye at the top of the triangle, as I said earlier, because you have the one line at the base and then the two lines going upwards, and at the peak of the triangle, at the peak of the pyramid, that's where you have your third eye, the eye that sees everything. One eye, just one, not two, that sees the spirit realm, that sees spirits, ghosts, demon, paranormal, that sees auras, that sees energies, that sees what normal people cannot see. So if you want to open your third eye and start to see spirits and demons and visions and become more aware, draw triangles, because that's gonna enhance your vision of the unseen. Use them in your rituals, use them in your craft, use them in your work. And that's what I have for this beautiful geometric shape, which is very, very powerful. Number 3, the triangle. So I want you to let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the triangle? Do you use it in your work, in your practice? And in the next video, I'm going to address the next geometric shape that's very important in the occult. And it is associated with number 4 because it's what comes after number 3. So stay tuned. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.